Hi, I'm Dr. Joan Friedman. Welcome to Twin Tuesday. Today, I just have a few thoughts about some of the patients that I've seen in the last few weeks, and it's made me think about the trials and tribulations of being a twin or having a twin. I know that there are many wonderful parts of the experience, and I think, as twins get older, things ebb and flow into something positive and or something negative. But in terms of what I've been thinking about lately, I've seen a lot of fraternal twins who are having struggles. And it so often happens that they do because they're so very different. And these struggles seem to surface much more in adolescence, where each one is trying to establish their own individuality. And it's so hard because they're together so much of the time, and people sort of consider them a unit. Even though people can usually tell them apart and they know their names, unlike what happens with identicals, there's still a whole lot of comparison that happens that others just naturally do. And it makes it difficult for those adolescents to work through some of those issues about being themselves and being accepted. And then for identicals, it's the same issue, but in a different reason. Identicals look so much alike. They're often treated as a unit. People cannot tell them apart. They do not know their names. And this happens well into adolescence, even though you would imagine that coaches and teachers and peers would be more sensitive to this. They're not. And so identical twins struggle with really wanting to be known as an individual apart from the unit that everyone connects them to. And then I was speaking to an older identical twin woman, and her struggle has been, and this is again a common struggle, that she's never really been able to experience pleasure or satisfaction in her own accomplishments or in her life experiences, because her twin has always been there and who's not experiencing the same thing. And this woman's telling me that, she feels guilty and she feels angry and she feels resentful. And yet she's grown up with this dynamic for so long in her life. And now in her late 40s, she's beginning to want to address this. To become more a separate, more of an individual, and not being so controlled and constrained by her sister's negative reactions to what she's doing and what she's accomplishing. So again, many of these struggles are ameliorated by development or by therapeutic intervention. So it's not such a dire situation. It's just interesting for me when I'm reflecting on this to think about how so many people do not understand some of the issues that twins do have to face growing up as a twin. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next week.